Welcome to another episode of Drinks Entrees. I'm James.
I'm Kenny.
Crystal.
Kiwi.
Jenna.
I'm Brock. And we are bringing casual conversations to life.
So, welcome everybody. Thank you guys for coming on the show, man. I appreciate you guys being here. So before we get started, definitely want y'all to, if y'all got anything y'all want to promote, and starting off, tell a little bit about what you do or something like that, something you want to get out there. Starting with you, Kiwi.
Well, I'm a co-host on Drifter Podcast. Right now we're taking a break. We'll be back soon, though. That's all.
Okay. Chris, you got anything you want to?
Shout out to Arian. Cook.
That's my nephew. Jenna?
No, I don't really have any shout outs.
Okay, cool. And Fred, what you got going on? You got anything brewing?
Co-founder of Future the Retro. I'm also one of the 3 co-hosts of 3 Stars Too Many Bars podcast. Check that out when you get a chance.
Also the creator of the Bar Drinks Entree logo.
Yes, sir.
Show.
Future the Retro.
So I didn't. Speaking of the 3 bars, Too Many Stars, didn't hear you on the last one.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear you on the like. So what happened? Like, are you not why weren't you on 3 bars, Too Many Stars?
And then showed up on Bar Drinks Entree.
So look like I left one.
I'm just saying, like, you wasn't on 3 bars, Too Many Stars.
Do it look like I left all 3 stars too long?
Well, listen, we just gonna go ahead and move on with the show. But like I said, I don't know what happened.
I don't know if it's controversy,
I don't know what's going on.
marketing, or what.
Do it look like I left all 3 stars too long?
Well, you wasn't on the last show. Like, check out episode 3. I don't know if you're gonna hear his voice. Just so y'all know. But he is one of the co-hosts of that show. I think allegedly. Allegedly.
Just maybe a little bit.
So moving on. So just let's get right into it. Let's dive in. Something I want to talk about. It's been going around and it's been talked about a lot. And it's the situation about the transgender thing with and listen, this is a sensitive subject, so be mindful what you say. But it's the thing. I know that it's probably
First of all, we're black, so there's nothing more than being sensitive. So I'm just saying, we've been through a lot more shit.
Okay.
So
but you know.
get into it.
Okay, cool. So Kiwi, I'm gonna come to you with this. What do you think about that situation, transgender thing, and the D-Wade thing about his son or now daughter wanting to be identified as a female?
So I've been telling, it's funny you brought this up, I've been telling friends of mine that I'm trying to be more open-minded regarding this subject, because the way I grew up, if I went and tell my mama I'm a boy, she's going to be like, what?
Okay.
You a boy, what? No, you're not. You're a woman, and you're always going to be a woman. So that's my train of thought, naturally. But I'm trying to learn how to be more accepting, more open to different thoughts and ideas. The issue, I think, for a lot of people is the child's age, right? So at 8, how old is the child? 8, 9, 10, 12, whatever, 12. I don't feel like you have had, of course you haven't had enough life experience to be like, I want to be a woman. You barely know what being a boy is or being you don't even know what being a man is yet, because you're not even a man yet. So it's just like, I would just talk to the child and, I wouldn't accept it. I would talk to them nicely where they would understand why I don't accept it. I wouldn't just be like, you're never going to be a girl. Don't come in my house being a girl. I think that's the problem that we have. A lot of people have with this issue. So if you talk to them and be like, listen, boo, you're too young to be making these decisions. You can't take hormones. You can't do this. With the lifestyle that you're going to live, it's going to cause some issues for you, some uphill battles. This is a decision we can't make right now. Let's just be open to, having this discussion later. I think that goes better than, I ain't never going to do it. My child ain't going to do that. So, but I know it would just be really hard for me to just accept that. And I'm not going to call my son a daughter.
Okay, cool. So, Chris, I seen that you want to rebuttal, but I'm going to come to you. Give me a second. I'm going to come to you because I see you want to rebuttal. Let me come to you first, Jenna.
I was just having a conversation about this yesterday. I feel like the times that we live in right now, there are a lot of things going on with millennials, I guess. The changes that they're going through, the things that they're exposed to is a lot different than what we were exposed to, what our parents were exposed to. Right. Kids nowadays are a lot smarter. Okay. They're more informed about things. I think at a young age, I agree with you, QB, that 12 years old is a little young to be wanting to change genders when you're not even fully developed in the one that you're in right now. So for that, I think that it is a parent's, I guess, choice or responsibility to have that full conversation with them. See where they're coming from. What is making you want to do this, to make this change? Well, you know, is it influence in people in school? Is it things that you're seeing on TV, on social media? What is it that is making you want to feel comfortable being something else, to
now,
be yourself?
If you had I'm not sure if you have a child or not.
I don't.
Okay, so if that was your child, would you?
I would have a conversation. I grew up in a household where my parents were like, cut and dry. You not doing this because I say so,
Gotcha.
and that is what it is. Which made me rebel a lot, which some kids do. So I would understand something like this, not calling it rebellion, but I would know that I would want to talk to my child about something like that. That's just like a same-sex situation. And I've had same-sex situations, so I cannot be a hypocrite to my child and say, no, you're never going to be able to do that. You shouldn't do that. That's not right. No, learn from, if this is what you want, I think that you should be able to learn from these things. If it's a thing that you want to fulfill later on and continue with, then okay, but it is your choice. I think education is what I think is more important when it comes to.
So I heard you said you was in a same-sex situation. Of course, we got to come to you next. But being in that same-sex situation, being as though you was on being as though you dealt with a female before in a same-sex situation, do you think that even though he's 12, that he should have the opportunity to be what he wants to be? Should he be free and should he be open?
I think
because
that
you know what it is to be.
So again, another similarity. Black and white relationships. People went through it for years, hearing ridicule and all kinds of things. I think it's a similar situation to that. It's something that will eventually be not overcome, but understood by most as time goes on. So again, education and speaking to these kids and speaking to whoever the situation is about, I think is important, because if not, then it could potentially turn out not a good situation. So
before I move on, I just want to clarify: you don't mind your child?
I am not opposed.
Okay. Cool. Crystal, I know you look like you wanted to rebuttal, so let me hear you, because I know Kiwi has said some things and maybe you didn't agree with him, so I want to hear your side.
Having a son, I agree with the whole, I don't agree with calling him a girl because he's 12. Like you said, you're 12. I don't agree with the nails and the crop tops because you're 12. So I don't think that he's experienced enough. But if my son was to come to me and tell me he wanted to be a girl, I would ask why. I would want to be curious because, like you said, they're seeing so much now, like homosexuality is in Disney, whereas we didn't see that until we really just saw it and we had questions. Now it's like almost being taught. So, but I'm no one to say that you, just like I came out the womb heterosexual, you can come out the womb homosexual. I don't think that it's all just taught. But if Arian was to come to me and say, Mom, I want to be a girl, and if his words are, well, I like their nails and I like their clothes and I don't like the things that boys do, then we will find a common ground. Maybe I didn't educate you enough. Maybe your dad been in prison or whatever the case, or you always been with mommy, you saw more feminine things, so of course you grew to love it. Maybe I wouldn't try to say, let me change your mind. Let me just introduce you to both sides, and if you still want to choose, you're not being called a girl at 12. When you 18 and you say, Mom, I still feel the same, that's on you. I'm just going to let you know that either way, I can't say, well, you're about to enter a hard life. You're a black man. You're going to have a hard life on both ends. It's really going, and you're in the spotlight, so you're really going to have it. So it's not really something that I can say is going to be hard. I just want to let him know you're going to go through some people walking away from you from this decision. But if it's you, the right people will love you through it all.
Right. Okay, cool.
And that's it.
What you think, Fred? I know y'all had this conversation on y'all podcast previously. And then now you had time to, and you had time to, take it all in after, y'all conversation that y'all had on y'all podcast. And that's what kind of opened my mind to it as well. So what do you think?
Well, like you said, like I had, I'm kind of cheating on the topic because we've had this in-depth discussion already. But since then, I've had time to like really go back and research it. And the one thing popped in my head. The kid's 12 now. He said he identified at 3 years old. So that's 9 years of conversations that this man has had with his child. And 9 years is a long time to do anything.
Okay.
And I see people saying, 3 years old isn't an old enough age to know anything. I'm the father of a 3-year-old. My daughter is brilliant.
Okay.
She understands everything. She picks up on traits, behavioral traits, parenting traits, the way I am versus the way her mother is, the way her grandmother is, the way her aunties is. She knows every word to every song, comes on the Frozen soundtrack. Like, so 3-year-olds are actually pretty brilliant, especially in today's age. Like you said, they're more informed because like everything's at the touch of her hand. Like you can grab any information you want. Like you said, it's being taught. Like for God's sakes, like homosexualities are like a protected class now of people. Like that wasn't the case back when we were kids.
Right.
So especially with them being in the limelight, like you said, I really feel like they're doing the best they can do for the cards they were dealt.
Okay.
There's nothing I'm pretty sure you can sit here and say that your kid can do to where you're not going to love them and back them. So if my child been coming to me for 9 years, at what point do you stop trying to rebuttal and just accept them for who they are and just show them love and support so they don't feel like the people that they trust the most are pushing them away. You absolutely, you kind of have to like make it public. I want to let the world know I love you no matter what.
Right.
I don't care what you want to do, so you can always come to me when things get hard.
Got you. Kenny.
I don't want. I mean, I
say,
agree with
bro.
y'all say. I'm not gonna be politically correct because I think it could be trendy at times. Like kids see other kids go through it, so they want to rebel and do things like that. For me, as a father of 2 girls, I can take it better for my daughters than I can for my son.
So why would you say that?
And I'm just being real. It's just real feelings. Now, like I said, I support my kid because the statistics shows like young kids have high suicide rates when they going through that and they're not being supported. Yeah. So me unconditionally loving my son, no matter what, but me as being a father who wants my son to carry my name and the way I live and the morals that I want to instill in him, the way I want him to live, him, just my human feelings, him living, a way of wanting to live like identified as a woman, it will hurt me.
I got you, but like I said, I get it. I hear what you're saying. I get it though, but at this point, it's like I don't have any children, so right now I'm like I understand what D-Wade's doing. He's he's supporting his child and everything like that. But I don't know how I would feel if I had a child. I don't know. So I understand what you're saying, Kenny, because like, do I agree with it? I don't know. I don't know if I agree with it. But would I support it? Yes, I'm gonna support my child no matter what. But it's hard to, I guess from a man's standpoint, like Kenny's saying, like, this is your child. You know what I mean? Like, Fred, I think you can attest to this. Like, being a man, like, and I don't know how you women feel about that, but being a man, you want your son to be, we grew up in that era, like, are you a man or a mouse? Don't cry. You know what I mean? You rarely show emotions. Like, so you gotta be tough. So
I was a girl, and my father raised me like that. That's what I'm saying.
But the moral part, why is it that you feel like the morals you instill in your son can't be the same morals that you can instill in your daughter? Because morals are intended as a form of demeanor, the way you carry yourself. So even if he turns into a girl, just teaching him to be a great human being overall shouldn't be like, well, what I would teach of course what you teach your son is different than your daughter's. But as far as morals are just demeanor and dignity, carry yourself as a stand-up human. Why couldn't it be the same morals that you teach your son?
Well, it's more like when I'm talking about as far as what I seen coming up, learning from my father on how to be a father and a husband. Mm-hmm. I can't teach him how to be a wife or a nurturer. I prepare from I'm lost of word, but I go out and support my family. I don't tell her to come cry on my shoulder. I don't go cry on her shoulders. Like
Yeah,
I
gotcha.
handle my problems as a man, and
I mean, I don't think that has anything to do with the part of it. But like, one more question I want to ask, then we got to move on from this topic. One more question before we got to move on to the topic. And this is an open question. I just lost the train of thought of the question I wanted to ask. Because it was more so in reference to that. I guess supporting the situation and everything like that. Man, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, guys. Dang, I can't think of what I wanted to ask real quick.
It's like when that man was singing the national anthem. I was like, damn, y'all, I forgot.
I cannot, because I just had it, but Kenya said something that kind of threw me off. But it's all good, man. But like I said, we definitely, if I think about it, I'll bring it back up later on in the segment. But with that being said, we're going to move on to the next topic. The next thing. So, Crystal, you first. You get to choose the first question of this show.
Never been first in my whole life.
You pick the number first.
So,
You know. Top notch is something, Joe.
pick one and then give it to me.
I get to put it back? No. Okay.
Now you don't get to put it back.
I said no already. Dang, I need both of y'all that's ganging up on me.
Let me see the question.
I was going to read it first. Y'all said it was
she
like,
can read it first.
Okay. If you want to read it, then you give it to me. That's fine.
he had Maryland education. I had DC. Think I can't read it. I got a
Now
degree
we're
too.
behind us.
I got
Maryland education was a little
But
behind
if it's a
DC.
PG education.
I went to Trinity University. That's top notch. He went to Coppin, Baltimore.
Whoa.
Whoa, well, don't talk about copy.
Baltimore.
Oh, boy. Look, I got some rebuttals for Baltimore too for you.
You
too.
beautiful.
Uh-oh.
So, Crystal, since you, this is the question, everybody. Get ready. Could you date somebody with a different religion than you?
Ooh.
Yes.
Hold on.
I've
I'm
already
gonna
done
go with you,
that.
Crystal.
My son's father is a Muslim. I've dated other men of different religions. As long as the respect matter, when he goes to pray, even if it's in the middle of something I'm trying to do, I have to respect that. When I want to pray, if it's not his prayer, he has to be silent while I'm praying. Just respect it. As long as it's not pushed on me, I'm cool with it. But when you start telling me I have to convert or, well, I do things this way, I do things that way, then it's time we go our way. Because I'm not converting if I'm not fully comfortable, even after educating myself.
Okay, so you saying being with someone, but you spoke for yourself. But as far as your child, what does that look like? Do we go to church Sunday? I mean, what do we?
It depends. Like he said, Ernest 4, and he asks questions he want to know. For his father was incarcerated the first 2.5 years of his life, but when he came home and Ernest started, but he grew up. My father was raised a lot of family members and friends, so when he would see different things, when he asked me, well, Mommy, Daddy doesn't pray at night like we do. Or Daddy doesn't say God is grace, and why does he go out there and pray on his hands and knees like that? When he asks questions, I don't shun him away. I tell him to go to his father.
Okay.
And when he tells me, well, I want to do it that way, I'll let him practice whatever religion he has, because when you have a religion, as long as you have one, you have a foundation. And that's all I need him to
So
have.
you'll let the child
So,
Choose
choose for
yours.
himself. Yeah,
wow.
same thing.
Fred, what do you think?
I really feel like that has nothing to do with love. And it's a touchy subject for me because, as y'all know, my high school sweetheart is 100% Christian, and
Right.
that's one of the reasons why we fell off, because she said that I didn't share her same religious beliefs or religious faith. And
Oh, you ain't a Christian?
I mean, I wouldn't say that. I do not consider myself to be anything other than a believer of a higher power.
Wow, I knew
didn't know that.
I knew that you
I never
wasn't
knew that.
heavily involved in church, but I
Right.
didn't know that you didn't believe. So,
Right.
That's like my
so what do you pray to?
Well, put it like this. As a kid, I went to Catholic church.
Okay.
That was my grandmother,
Yeah.
we go to church. When I turned 18 and I no longer had to go, it was not a thing of where I felt like it was necessary, because as a kid and you're forced to go, either you take it on or you rebel from it. And with me, it was like, okay, I know there's something amazing up there that created all of this, but as I got older, started thinking for myself, there's too many different types of religion.
Too many different type of
Too
interpretations.
many different types of everything with the same purpose.
Right.
So let me explore this on my own. And as I began exploring it, it just got confusing to me, to the point where it's like, how about I just not classify as anything, and I just have faith that as long as I live my life the right way and be good to people and love people who they are, because technically that's all it is. You're not supposed to judge the next man, and you're supposed to to live your life with like a code of morals.
You got it. So I know that you're dealing with your code of morals and everything like that, but let's get back to that what we was asking about dating, religion, and everything like that. So can you or can you not date?
I absolutely can. As long as like you said, the respect factor is there. As long as you respect my views and my choices, I respect yours, you and your choices. And as long as we can coincide, then it's all gravy. Because the way I look at it is, if I love you to the point where I want to be with you, obviously nothing else matters. And I'm not going to let something like a difference in religion change that. So I absolutely could, 100% could date somebody.
Jenna.
I'm very agreeing with you. I was raised in a household who my parents didn't really do the church. They let us decide on our own. As far as me and my brother, in a relationship, it has never been an issue. I don't have religious background, so I'm not. I feel the same way. As long as I walk and treat people the way that they're supposed to be, and the way that I would want them to treat me, and I don't lie, cheat, and steal, and things like that. Like I feel like, yeah, it is a lot to learn if you are trying to do it. If you're not brought up on that foundation.
No, yeah.
So for me, it's not a breaker.
Oh, okay, so it's not a breaker. So could you be converted? Since you say
I cannot say that because I've never been put in that position, and
So do you have a type of do you follow a religion, or like do you just kind of like him, you believe in a higher power, but you're not necessarily.
Yeah, I know that there's something up there.
Right.
And like he said, there's just a lot, and
So you're not necessarily saying like you don't read the Bible. 'Cause I don't read the Bible as nothing either, but like that. But I know that I am a Christian. That's the laws that I follow, or whatnot, because that's how I was raised. So it's crazy to hear that you're not necessarily a Christian, but you believe in a higher power. So
I believe that there is something above me.
Okay.
What it is?
That's different. That's dope though. It's different. I mean, it's different. It's a little. I was thrown off by when y'all both said it, but I understand it, and I guess you're saying that. But what you're saying is you don't mind it either. You don't mind if they have a different religion, no matter what it is.
Mm-mm.
So coming to you, Kiwi.
So I just have a quick question for you guys. At first, I find it very common that a lot of people are moving towards that sentiment. Like, I believe there's a higher power. I'm not necessarily like leaning towards one religion or the other. And I respect that, and I think that's happening because a lot of religions are forced down our throat as a child, and it's just a part of rebellion for us, or it's like I want to just make my own decision. So I respect it. My question for y'all is, if you meet someone and they just want you maybe to pray with them once in a while, or let's just say there's a family tragedy, or they just having a bad day and they just want you to pray with them, would you like pray with them?
I would do whatever.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I just don't have any of my own
holidays, Christmas,
I'm there.
What?
Easter.
Yeah,
it's a lot of things.
None of that. I don't cut any of that stuff out of my life. I grew up on everything. All of that stuff I grew up on. I'm not opposed to. I've gone to Jewish churches. I've gone to I'm not opposed.
Okay.
I'm not opposed, and I know that there are different. I just haven't found one that is for me.
Okay.
So, like, my dad grew up in a Baptist house. His father, was a pastor in Mississippi. My mom, she went to church in D.C. She grew up Christian. My brother went to an Anglican church in Accokeek and then went to Catholic University. I'm the black sheep. I just did not pursue.
So you're like a free spirit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So before we go on to you, Kiwi, about because I know you asked that question and I want to hear what you had to say. I heard Crystal say no about not praying with them. So like you said, the father of your child, he's Muslim, and so if he asked you to pray with him, you wouldn't. And
not leading though.
I'm not saying leading,
right.
But if he say I had a bad day, let's pray.
Yeah.
What would your prayer look like?
The prayer. That's why I said no, because we pray different. He's Muslim, so at the end of my prayer, if I say in the name of Jesus Christ, he does not. They don't believe in Jesus equals God.
Okay.
So I'm not going to I won't pray with you if I don't believe what you believe.
Right, cool.
I'm just not going to do that, but I will pray for you, and I will be present in the moment of your prayer, and I will support you through your tough day, but I will not pray with you if I truly I'm not praying to the same person that you believe you're praying to.
So Kiwi, what's your thoughts on it? Like, could you date outside, like somebody outside of your religion?
No. Just because in the past I have dated people that I'm a Christian and I've dated people that are not Christian, and at first it's always like, oh, you don't have to convert, or like I wouldn't want you to convert. We don't require you to convert. Because in Islam they don't. Men can marry a woman that's not Islamic, but I always find that later it's always like, well, you could convert. Well, put this on, or you can try this. Yeah, so it's like a slow push. And the other thing is, I realize as I'm older now that when I grew up, my stepfather in the house, he was Christian, but he never went to church with us. I never saw him pray. We never had like a family prayer. And I see more couples now pray together. I've never seen him pray with my mom ever. So I would like a man that is Christian. And I would like for him at least to like come to church sometimes, and you need to pray with me. Because I think that's important. I think that builds a bond with the two of us. Like if we can pray together, we having problems, we're yelling and screaming. Okay, let's try to pray and calm down. We had a bad day. Something's wrong with our child. Let's pray together. That would make me happy. I'm not saying he has to go to church with me every week.
So let me ask you a question, because one of my friends are experiencing that with their spouse. You never seen him pray or anything like that. Have you ever asked him why?
My stepfather?
Yes.
Yes, because religion was forced down their throat.
Okay.
Yes.
A lot of people I know who do that. Not trying to knock what you say. I agree wholeheartedly, but I've seen, like you said, with the stigma with men. A lot of men have experienced a lot of church hurt.
Yes.
I've heard a lot of stories behind that. When you ask them, what if you date someone who went to church and did all that, but felt like he was failed by the church, but not by God. So if he's telling you like, I'm Christian and I will pray with you, but I'm not stepping foot in the church, what would your response be into that? If he really just feels like the church has hurt me, but God has not failed me yet.
If he acknowledges Christ as his Lord and Savior, then I'm okay with that. And he's upfront about it. Like if we have a communication and you tell me like this happened or I had an experience that I don't like, and he's upfront about it, but he prays with me and I see that you pray, or especially like if he comes to me and wants to pray, then I'm okay with it. I'm not gonna force church down anybody's throat. Like it has to be on your own will.
What you just asked her, that was me, because I remember a few years ago I was complaining to him.
Yeah,
I was heavily into like the politics of the church, the AME church. I was a trustee. And I've seen, I'm not putting down AME church. I just felt like it was more about business.
Right.
I felt like it was more about money.
And that's another reason why I don't go to church for those reasons.
For me, it questioned my faith. It never questioned my faith. I know I'm a Christian, but I felt as though that denomination was more so political. I've seen
people in the church weren't.
Hold up, Chris.
What you were talking about?
Yeah, I've seen people.
So, Kenny, like, I know you talking about that, but so that's kind of, I don't want to get too far off track about it. That can go, we can take this a couple different ways. Right. But before we dive deep into that, just asking you, could you date somebody that doesn't believe in what you believe in?
No, I don't think I can. I don't even think we would get past the date.
He can't date nobody. He's married to D.
I mean, if you wasn't married to him when y'all met,
hypothetically asking, I couldn't. It's not. I have no problem. I have no problem with any other religion. Like I respect how disciplined Muslims are with their religion. I respect how disciplined they are praying how many times a day.
5 times a day, right?
Not eating pork. Like it's a lot of discipline.
I know a lot of Muslims that eat pork. By the way.
I think one thing too with religion, that as far as dating, I think when you think of religion as far as dating, you always assume that the person in a certain type of religion is more perfect and less human. Like people always hear like Muslims are so disciplined. I've seen a lot of Muslims be hungry. That pork was the only thing on the table they ate. Or a lot of Muslims who don't pray. I done seen a lot of Christians commit adultery.
So, hold up, but like I said, getting back to Kenny, before we get off track, getting back to Kenny, so what you were saying was you can't.
No, I can't. It's nothing against other religions. It's just more so of what I've seen growing up, like between my mom and dad. I grew up in a Christian household.
Okay, cool.
I can't. Like me, I think about the kids. think about how I was raised, what was instilled in me. I mean, I have nothing against what y'all was saying, but I'm just talking about for me. I can't.
I don't want to date outside my religion either, because I like Christmas gifts.
You have a religion?
I mean, I like Christmas gifts. I like Christmas gifts. No, but
A lot of people do that. Aaron got gifts, but it was the day before.
Like, being honest though, I don't know how I would feel to date out my religion, and then with the kids as well. Like, you know what I mean, the conflict that pose. I don't know how I would feel like I know my sister. She had, like she said, she had a Muslim, boyfriend, and they worked it out. It worked pretty well for, I guess, the religious purposes. But like for me, I want us to be equally yoked. You know what I mean? I think that, me dating, we pray together, like you said, Kiwi, when we pray together, everything is kind of on the same level. Like, we're not set. I feel like if you have a different religion than I, and this is just my personal opinions, everybody, I feel like we're not on the same playing field. We're not level. We're not, together, because you're thinking this way and thinking this way. So, for me, I would rather date somebody that kind of believes in something that I believe in as well, because I think that it will make our bond and our yin and our yang better.
So, with that being said, now this come from a real place. What does any of that have to do with how that person feels about you?
Right.
And this is where this is where.
Well, I don't think it has anything to do with how they feel about you. I think it has to do with how the relationship works and is intertwined together, and the things that you guys are on the same playing field together. So
same page.
Yeah, so you agree that, like, let's pray together. This is how we fix our problems. Like, this is how we, like, show our love to each other, because we can pray and, like, talk it out, things out.
But people
I don't think it has anything to do with the way they feel about you, because you can really, really care about something, but I'm not stepping in church with you.
But people like us, who that's not our thing, like, there are other things that we find that are bonds. So it's not, it's not just the praying portion. There are other things that replace that.
Right, but I think every couple
but just have different religions.
Yeah.
Like everything, they supported your mental health. They supported your failures. They support your dreams. They teach you got it, but then he's just not a Christian.
But y'all is a little different, because like y'all don't have. No, I'm saying y'all
y'all over there.
The
Christians on this side.
Y'all have an idea with a certain religion. So being with someone with your beliefs, it's probably easier for me dealing with a Muslim or a Buddhist or.
Actually, I think it's the opposite.
I think I'll be
able to get somebody who has
It'd be easier. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying it was easier.
But I don't feel that myself. The religion does not make me. I'm okay with that.
Okay, so. Excuse me, I was eating my little entree.
Stop spitting on people.
It was pretty good. Shout out to D too on the
entrees was on
entrees. The entrees was on point. We had.
I worked today, man.
I never seen you dick.
I came in here. She was the one in the kitchen.
Shout out to the Christian brother that purchased the groceries.
Shout out the shrimp and tacos. It's Taco Friday, not Taco Tuesday.
Yes.
But it was definitely good. Fiesta Friday, good job.
It was my idea for that.
Fiesta
But
Friday?
See, that's what
before we hold up,
she made it.
Right.
so we definitely got to move on, guys. Before we go dive in, because like I said, these questions they definitely can go longer than what we have. But before we move on, let me ask this question to everybody, and then we're gonna close out this segment. Quick question: could you date somebody? Like the definition of atheist, I believe is not necessarily. Okay, so is that worshiping the devil, or more so just not having a religion?
No, it's not having enough.
Okay, so could you date somebody that didn't have a religion?
That's a hard question. That's a hard question for me.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so Jenna, you can date somebody that is an atheist.
I've met some assholes that are atheists.
Hold up.
Okay.
Fred, could you date an atheist?
I had.
Could you date an atheist? Hold on, y'all.
I couldn't date like a God hater. Like you couldn't
come
home
God
talking
hater.
about
that's what I'm saying.
God ain't that.
But that's not what an atheist is.
Atheist
is not a God hater.
They don't believe in religion,
It's
right?
not they don't believe in religion, but that doesn't make you a God hater.
No, not literally hating God, but I'm praying to Jesus and they walking by you praying to your Jesus. I'm like, you hating on God, man.
So you couldn't date.
Praying over your food. Again.
Okay, so you couldn't date an atheist. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. Crystal, could you date an atheist?
As long as they not doing that bullshit.
Yeah.
As long as it's a respect matter. I mean,
Exactly. I think
it's
it's
about it's all
If I
about
love you, I love
respect.
you.
Because I'm praying to Jesus.
Even honestly though, they even was like that. Probably yeah.
Okay. So you could date an
If they was
atheist.
like that, still getting smart because it's going to intrigue me to be like, instead of just breaking up, I want to know why you feel like
Yeah,
you
now that is just true hate
No,
and shade. And
Kiwi, hold up, y'all. Kiwi, what?
I need my man to believe that Jesus Christ is his
Lord and Savior.
Lord and Savior.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
For me, I don't think I could date. I couldn't date an atheist either.
Especially one that says thank you God.
So closing out this. Hold up, y'all. So closing out this segment of the question. Closing out round one. Kiwi, you cannot date nobody outside your religion.
Correct. I cannot.
You can date somebody outside your religion.
Yep.
Jenna, you can date somebody outside your religion. Fred, you can date somebody outside your
Not
religion.
judge.
Okay. And
It's not judging.
it is judging.
It's not judging.
I think
Friends
it's
ain't just
judging.
about
It's
anything.
not. I don't feel any way
hold
that
on,
you
hold on.
religion.
They got something brewing over
She
here.
said it's judging. I said it's not judging. I don't feel any type of way that you don't have the same religion. as
But
me.
if we don't, if you and your spouse, if he wasn't what you are, then you don't want it anymore.
I would never get into it.
Got you.
Right.
So that's
So
not.
that's a
But that's
first
not a
date question?
judgment. But that's not a
That's a first
judgment.
date
though.
Okay, so
I
I know we
first
gotta
date
close out
question.
this section.
Second date
We gotta close it out, guys. I know that we keep going.
I
Kenny,
don't
what
be like,
about
let's
you?
pray over our food. If you start getting, you get on
And
the
you
menu,
want
you
to
start
put it
praying
on
us
your
right now.
You didn't pray?
Hold up, y'all. Hold up. Kenny,
I can't.
Kenny, you can't.
I can't.
And I can't. Okay, cool. Moving on to the
Tree,
next
tree.
one. Yeah. Tree and
Even.
tree. Hey, so it's even.
Wait.
We gotta convert somebody.
I didn't say
You
that.
say
You
yes.
said you
say
said yes. They
yes,
say
yes.
yes, and we
I
say
mean,
no.
I said no as far as.
Oh, y'all left me on the wrong
So we got
side.
convert James.
No, you can't convert.
No, I'm not. James
Jenna.
goes to church way more.
It's on
Oh,
Jenna.
Jenna. Oh, my
I'm
bad.
not.
So Jenna, it's on you, Jenna. You get to pick the next question, Jenna.
I'm just
Can't
shocked
take
you
a shot
can
on my
date
titty.
anybody,
Shut the
Fred,
titty.
at this point. I'm just once I realize he can date.
Bring anybody home.
No, not anybody.
Look at
Like,
the shot
my
glass,
he's
y'all.
bougie.
I'm taking my titty
He's
shot.
bougie.
Okay, cool.
Put your
Let me see
pinky
that
up now.
question.
Put your pinky up.
You go to a church in the South.
Out of
Mm-hmm.
It's community Sunday.
They're gonna see
Yeah,
shit.
I'm
Bottom
ready.
down. She got the underboob.
That's fake. It's fake.
Okay, cool. Next question, guys. What is the definition of separation from your significant other, and what do separation look like? So, starting with you, Jenna, what's the definition?
Wait. We have to clarify. What is significant other?
It
Talking about
can be.
spouse, or we talking about boyfriend?
It can be either or.
Significant
Whatever
other is
significant
whatever.
Spouse.
So
You
even
got a
in a
long
situationship,
time.
Yeah.
Who you committed to?
Who you committed to?
Your
Yeah.
fiance.
Fiance,
Your
your spouse,
situation.
your situation, your boyfriend, girlfriend. It can be whatever. But what does separation look like to you?
Separation is time apart for, I don't know if it's not necessarily a punishment, I think. It's more regrouping.
So you
Maybe.
use it as a way to
Hold up.
come back.
Yeah, hold up. Let me
It
see.
depends.
Let me
So, all right. So I'm a very I like my solitude. So separation for me would be okay. Like, I'm cool with separation.
Well, what does it look like to you when I mean like separate? Like when you separate from your significant other,
Woman.
right? So like,
Is it?
is it y'all are separated?
Or is
and
it-
Oh, are you meaning as
From
are you meaning as far as sex is concerned?
Yeah,
Or you
everything.
meaning
everything,
as
like
far-
separate
Yeah.
everything.
Still clapping them cheeks if y'all separate.
So it depends. I think it depends. I think it depends on the
Talk to us.
situation. So, now I've never been in a separation situation. Either we together or we not.
Okay.
If something happens,
It's
whatever, we done.
So y'all split. So when you
Yeah,
break
yeah,
up,
yeah.
you break up. There's no
Oh,
separation.
I cut ties.
Oh, it's
like,
no going.
We
like,
still
I cut-
having an
like, I
agreement.
cut-
Will you go back
like,
to
I
that
cut
person?
ties. No.
He got that good
So
time.
it's no
On
such
purpose,
thing.
because if we broke up, it was on purpose.
So it's no such thing as separation to you.
I will not say that. I've never been married, so
You
I
don't
will not
necessarily
say
have
that.
to be married. 'cause
And I
know-
get that, but in the relationships I've had, just boyfriend girlfriend relationships,
It's old.
yeah, it's over. If it's over.
Fred, what about you? Because I got some rebuttals to
That's
this.
a little easy.
Yeah, I got some rebuttal.
Yeah,
But Fred, go ahead.
Smooth
Criminal.
system.
I'm just going to speak from my experiences since I've never been married. Separation for me looks like this is just not what we are doing right now. Meaning that, for lack of better words, I don't know you.
Okay, cool.
That's how my cutoff.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Like, it's like that is,
Because
like
because the way I feel,
female
like when I'm in a situation where normally I'm the person that's going to, well, I have been the one that's like, look, let's fight through this, let's figure it out now while we still have that connection. But if the consensus is that we're separating, my job is to now show you what life is like without me.
Yeah.
So if you think grass is green on the other side, I need you to go ahead to that other lawn, close the fence behind you,
okay.
move your stuff with you, you know, and just wave to me from the other side of the street. Like there's nothing else to talk about at that point. Like I can't speak from a married standpoint. If you ever been separated?
Hold up.
Oh.
Hold up. No, that was a great segue. But before I go to you, before we go to you, because you are married. Crystal, what does separation look like to you?
The nigga right here agrees.
But what does separation look like to you?
I ain't gonna hold y'all. I ain't did that. Well, no, to people that I really wasn't in love with. Like,
No, I'm just asking.
in a relationship, something like that, if I really could just, like that, but I ain't gonna hold you. If this is my first, like, with Arian's father, that was my first time where you was like, you still coming? I have tried to revisit. Because breaking up was way harder because I wasn't ready, but he wasn't giving me what I wanted.
Was it because of the child?
No. I would never do it because of my
But
child.
did that make it easier for you to be able
Nah,
to
it made
try
it easier
again?
to walk away. Honestly,
Wow,
because
really?
having him, realizing that, we broken up before, but we both weren't done. So it was still revisited. I can't speak on this particular
So you were
breakup.
separated.
And it was a separation to regroup and come back. This one is a separation for like we are done for me because I'm not good. But when I revisited, it was not. Oh well, I saw him every day, so it made it easy. No, my feelings were still there.
Right.
Walking away is easier with my son because I'm realizing that if I stay here, my son's gonna see a totally different side of love that he does not need to witness at this age. So having him is making it easier for me to say, this is not healthy for me. It's not what I want. It's not what I want my child to be taught. It's time for me to go.
So not to get too far off subject, because I know we brought the child involved. Brought your son into this situation.
But separation for me depends on, to me, whether it's, am I really done or is it just, I need you to wake up and realize that if you don't get it right, I can be gone.
So, Kiwi, what does separation look like for you?
In the past, separation's been like, this is too toxic. We need a break because we're not seeing eye to eye on anything. It's too much arguing. So separation for me is, I'm not talking to you. You're not talking to me. Don't call me. Don't text me. Like, we not talk. Like, I'm living my life. You live your life. And then when we feel like calling each other, we will, so we can work it out.
Okay,
Hold on,
Kenny.
so-
Before let me ask Kenny, because I got some things I want to ask about this question.
I got some things I want to say. Two things here. I agree with you. The reason why I agree with Fred is because I love hard.
Okay.
And I don't believe in separation. So I don't know what separation looks like. If you love someone, you're gonna make it. You're gonna try to fight to make it work. I'm the same person that can love hard in that retrospect, but then I'm also the same person that could just cut you off and be very cold.
So you can be like, fuck you.
But what
So
if
you can be like, fuck you.
but what you're trying
Give
at
my
the
ring.
moment is
I still-
just way too hard. What if you need time to just,
That's
you know
me.
what?
That's me as a person.
Okay.
Like I still had problems with. I had problems with people in elementary school. Like if I see them tomorrow, I still feel the same way I felt.
I can
Yeah,
hold
you
a
hold a
grudge.
good grudge.
I hold
So
I'm
the
the
reason
same
why,
way.
no, hold up.
That's why I cut off.
The reason why I asked, so listen,
That's-
the reason why I asked this question is because when we say we separated, it always seems like, from my experience or other people that I've talked to and their experience with separation, is that we're separated, but we're still exclusive. So,
That's a
like,
God thing.
no, I'm asking. No,
not
that's
It might
Let's-
just be a
for me.
possessive
Hold up,
thing in
no.
general,
If we
not just
exclusive,
a
that's
sex.
all me.
No,
Ain't
what I
no
mean, like,
separated
no,
when
what
we're
I'm saying.
over
That's
here, you over
so
there.
from,
Don't
like I
get
said, from my
nobody
experience, like, for example, if I still, like, if we're separated, is that broken up? Like, am
Yes.
I on a break from you?
We're done.
Meaning that I get to do
No.
whatever I want, date outside of us. Like, what is that's
But
what I mean
is that
by
what you're looking for? And
That's
in a separation situation.
Like the break
Yeah,
is,
if
are
that's
we interested in other people, or are we just regrouping to bring it back? Now, if you tell your girl, like, look, maybe
that
we
should
just
be
date other
that
people
should
and
be
see.
addressed.
Now hold on.
Exactly. That's what
In the
I was gonna say.
beginning.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
So that's why I said it depends on the
Okay,
situation.
now hold up before we
Yes.
hold up before you ask me the question.
Okay.
Kiwi, what you were saying?
So what she was saying, I agree with her. If we decide that we're gonna take a break, then we need to address right then and there what are the terms of this.
That's what I was
separation.
What are you? Yeah. What are
That's
you
what I was
separating
getting to.
for? What is the
Does
That's
this
what I was
mean
getting
you're
to.
talking to other people? Does this mean you're sleeping with other people?
Yep.
Does this
Okay.
mean
Yep.
you're having other people come over? Like, does this mean you're telling people that you're single?
Mhm.
Or when are we gonna talk
Taking all my
again?
pictures
I
off
need
Instagram.
Hold on.
limits. Like, I need limits. I need to know
Okay,
how long is this gonna go.
So my question is then, if we're not, so what's really separation then?
That is separation.
So
What's
That
separation
is-
for you? You need to answer
Right.
that question because
separation.
Yeah, because you've been ready.
Good moonwalk.
yeah, you moonwalk right out of that because you put it right
Say
on
it
there.
right to the
It's on you.
He like Wendy
So we
Williams.
gonna
Oh,
put this
in your face.
He like Wendy
What's
Williams.
separation, brother?
You believe in breaks?
Build up the drama.
Separations. What's separations for me?
Be
You
mindful
was
your
ready
biological
already, though.
sister sitting
I
at
know,
that
my
I'm
bar.
reading the question. You asked the question.
You was
Why
ready
you say-
already.
Separation for me.
Be mindful.
I don't know if separation is a real thing.
What?
I don't know if separation is a real thing.
Why not?
And no, hold up. I don't know if separation is a real thing because, like I said, if we're separated to make things regroup, why are we? Why? I mean, for me, why are we separated then?
Sometimes being in
Because
the
you
same
just
household
argue too much.
is not what you need. If you in, like she said, if you're in the house arguing all the time and you're
Fighting.
frustrated every day, you can't. Oh, I can't stand you. Yes,
You
a
fight.
couple.
You fight the stand. You
But
fight
Right,
the
but
work.
sometimes some
That's
things
not
just
good for
aren't. You
everybody.
don't. Yeah, some
For
things
me,
just can't be worked
can't
out
be.
after
Like
you
it's
wake up in
physical.
the morning.
Okay.
I get
You sleep
angry.
on it,
So you got
and
anger
wake
issues.
up.
My thing not just anger. I'm gonna be real. Yeah, no, I do. I get angry, especially if I feel like
You playing,
you're the
you
reason.
get
For
played with.
example, like if you say if it's not set in tone, for example, if we separated and you tell me in the beginning like we just separating to revisit, but now my picture's gone, you date, my friends tell me you dating, then it's a small world, and then I sitting at a bar and the girl showing me, look at who I'm at, and it's you. That's not. Then I'm. But we still in the same household
Right.
trying to fake it,
No,
and
we
make
reckon.
it. It's not about the work. Sometimes I need to get away from
No,
you to really
so
clear my mind.
so you burn the house down. So what I'm saying
Okay,
is,
Lisa,
so
left out.
so listen, hold up, because y'all asked me, and this is why I asked that
This
question
good Christian
because I don't like
We all said it.
supposedly some people like of course like I know we going to something else with celebrities that they've had a break baby.
Like D Wade situation.
I am.
I don't. Yeah, okay. So D Wade, he had a break baby. So like I'm just saying a
You got
break baby.
baby, and you got a broken back. There we go. Break
So,
baby.
but
break
I'm saying
back.
though, if we're separate,
Separation, baby.
so is separated and not together different?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, no,
Not-
it
not for
depends
me.
on. It depends on
Hold on,
the
let me-
y'all agree
hold on,
with.
like,
It
everybody's talking
depends
right
on
now.
the relationship.
Okay.
You have to. Every relationship is different. So if you did not set the terms of your separation, then they gonna do whatever they want to do. Then you can't get mad if they go have a break.
Honestly,
because you didn't
separation
have
only for
communication.
marriage. It's only
Well,
for
yeah.
marriage.
That's
think
how
it
I
depends on the
feel,
person.
and that's how I
Hold
feel.
up, Fred brings this
Yes.
I
hand.
think it's
so
the
go ahead.
person.
Take heed.
And I'm glad you just said that because I just thought that I don't know the word. Same time.
Cohesive?
Cohesively. It was a cohesive thought with
Whoa.
the statement.
Good job. Wait.
Keep drinking. Keep
Take
drinking.
a second.
At least I didn't say
Keep
the wrong
drinking.
word.
Yes, good job.
Okay.
Okay,
But
but
I think
watch your mouth. You went to Eastern Shore. Nobody goes there. I don't know anybody
Shut
went
her
around
in,
Eastern
shut
Shore.
her
I
in,
never
shut her in.
never lost
Cousin
the
goes there
Eastern
right
Shore.
now.
Shut her in.
Cop and never lost the
I
Eastern
got my
Shore.
life together.
My
Oh,
cousin goes there
So
right
what
now.
that? Remember on the show?
So hold on, no, go ahead. Yeah.
But
You gotta risk
no,
it.
I think that's the problem with today's society is that people want to bring marriage into the casual relationship. Okay, keep it at stages. If you're in a relationship, do relationship shit. Use relationship terms. Don't use terms like separated until you have the ring. Until you have to be legally, you have to be separated before you're even able to get a divorce. Like that's what separates. So if I'm in a relationship
We're broken up.
and we're not married,
Thank
a
you.
separation is you're going about your way, I'm going about my way.
Yeah.
Because the
If
way
we
I am.
come back, we just
Yeah,
having
if
a
we-
conversation.
if we
go
There
back,
is
it's
no
not
term.
because-
Yeah.
Broken up.
It wasn't
Right,
planned.
right.
It's no. Oh no, we're done.
What about
I'm
break?
I'm hitting the
Nah.
no. When if
Nah,
I go on
don't do
Facebook
that.
and I click we're no longer in a relationship, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make
So-
social media.
so-
Yes,
Okay.
real.
Okay,
Do it on
so
Facebook, say
we gotta
no,
get
it's
to the.
real.
We gotta get to the. So we got to get to the next 7. So
Yeah.
separation, you believe in separation.
Yes.
Do you believe in separation?
Only if you're married.
You believe in separation?
Nah.
I just think separation
So
is the
you
word.
part, right?
So you believe in separation? Okay. And what does separation look like for you?
It looks like
Y'all,
independence.
okay. All right, cool.
Let's go.
All right, good job. Hold on, before we listen, this is the last call, y'all. Round 3 is gonna be on Kiwi, but before we do that, we gotta take a toast to this episode. So everybody, hey! Thank you guys.
Anybody
So
wanna play
toast
my
before we
boobies
do the
on my
last
TikTok?
call.
Boobies.
So before we toast the last call, everybody take a shot.
I got mine.
Sir, mine are
Boobs
really
are
like
overrated.
that.
Boobs are not overrated.
Boobs are overrated.
You
No,
talking
what?
Double D
Is
right
that the
now.
next topic?
Jenna,
For somebody
hold
who
up.
doesn't have much,
I'm a
Jenna,
hoe.
no bra
You do not
Fridays,
discriminate.
Jenna,
they're overrated.
what you
They're not.
drinking?
I'm
I'm
a
getting
hoe.
them cut off.
Crown Royal
The
vanilla.
first thing I'm looking at is the.
Hold up,
Cut
y'all.
off.
The bottom.
Getting them cut
Okay,
off.
hold up, y'all. Fred, what you sipping on?
Sipping on Jack Daniels, all
Jack
three of them.
Daniels. This is small batch 1792.
Small bat 1792.
Whatever was put in my cup.
So that was.
I trust everybody at this bar, so I'm like,
Alright, no date rape here.
none.
Oh boy.
No Quaaludes.
No, we family.
Would I be rude to say? Would it be wrong for me to say no Bill Cosby?
Yes. Too late.
Well, you said it.
Oh,
At this
no,
moment, don't put relation.
Just
He has
ask
his
a question.
own brain.
So Kiwi is on you. This is the last call, like I said.
That's his
Let's
father.
go.
My mother wouldn't have said that.
Yes, she would have. Your mother definitely would have said it.
No, she wouldn't have. That's your father. With
Shout out to
with
the
the
Whitney
wine.
Hutton.
He looked like dude off Boys in the
Did you
Hood.
go to that
I
concert?
can't remember Boys in the Hood. Lawrence Fishburne.
Shut your ass up.
What you see up here, son? What you see? What you see on this hill?
Are you talking about my dad? 'Cause your dad just came down here.
Gang niggas coming on. You just goddamn gang niggas coming across the street.
Hey,
You talking about over here?
Your dad just came down here.
Oh,
on the
definitely Lawrence Fishburne. He's an 80-year-old bodybuilder.
Like you just got left for bad bougie.
First of all, your dad just came down here like he combed his hair backwards. So,
You want to turn this bar niggas on table? You want to
no, I'm not joning. And your dad, you know what? We can talk offline.
You can talk about my father. I know who my daddy is. I'm not ashamed.
All
At
right,
least you know who your daddy is.
You just made me.
Well, I just met mine 2 years ago, so we in the same
You can
boat.
walk in the door right now. I'm
If
done.
y'all need one, I got one you can have.
That's your daddy.
All right,
Let's talk about my
now,
father.
let's get
I got
back.
the cute daddy.
Uh-oh.
Your daddy missing teeth.
Your father was great.
Listen, let's get back to the
Your father
show.
still teaching one of them slavery churches. He's still teaching one of them.
You don't know if he Muslim or Christian. He both. He prays to Allah. He don't know what he
He thought he
wants to
wear
do.
thong flip flops.
In the wintertime?
I don't condone that.
He wear thong flip flops.
So,
And every time he
your
talks,
daddy, your daddy do too.
and every time he talks, he say, hey,
Your daddy do too.
yeah. Oh, there's his. This
Your daddy too. Your daddy do
yeah.
the same thing. He wear thong flip
My
flops.
father missing teeth from a fight. His father got a gap and they never been in a fight.
Yes, he has.
Go ahead.
I've been a fight in this life.
You crazy? My dad got guns.
His father only had to fight because he was in the army.
So what? He
That's
fought.
it. And he
Your
little. He got no back off
your
that.
dad fought because he was illiterate.
No, it's because he deaf in one ear. So he couldn't hear everything
I'm
everybody was
gonna
saying.
scoot over for a drink start.
No,
No.
And reading, he just couldn't have insurance, so he couldn't get glasses until now. So that's just my dad.
Listen, but let's get back to the show.
It's called dyslexia.
I'm sorry, guys.
See what you started?
I'm sorry. Hold up. I'm sorry, guys. This is just a rivalry, a sibling rivalry that we have. So I
This
do
what happened when your mama
apologize.
got more than one baby daddy. That's what.
Oh!
That's what it is.
Mama, I didn't say that.
Your mama
I
got
didn't
more
say
than
that,
one baby
Mama.
daddy. It's okay.
So, but this is a sibling rivalry.
What is the question?
Please excuse me. I'm getting to the question now. Is it okay for your girl to is it okay for your girl to accept a drink from a guy at the bar if you're there with her?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Hell
Okay,
yeah.
are you talking about if I go out with my man and...
Yeah, we at the bar together.
Come on.
Kiwi, you pick the
first.
question.
So it depends.
Don't say nothing.
You can pass it.
All the women
Oh,
answer
you think I
first.
ain't?
Okay.
You can pass it.
It depends.
What you mean? It
What?
depends.
Pass
Saves
it.
money for both.
Hold up, y'all. Let her talk.
Exactly.
No, that's
So like if we're like if we have a good relationship and we're like friends, I know a couple dudes that I could date, and if I got a drink from the bar, he'd be like, go ahead girl, give me a drink too, because I mean I gotta spend an extra $40-$50 at the bar. Like they not mad. But it can cause problems.
Why? Why would it cause problems?
Because it's like it could be looked at as disrespectful. Like, how am I gonna go out with your man and have another man try to buy you a drink? Because more than likely, if the man's buying you a drink, he's interested in you.
He think
and
you
he
by
wants to take
yourself.
you out.
That's
Facts.
what
But
Like, he's just my Uber driver.
But the thing about it is though, just see, so I'm
It
gonna make
depends on the
right,
relationship.
but I'm gonna make a statement after because I want to ask all the women this question
Yeah,
first because
yeah.
I have a rebuttal.
Oh, I know what you want.
So, Crystal,
It depends, because I've been in situations where the dude bought the drink, but it was for me, but he was interested in the date. He was not interested in
wow.
When the hell was this?
I ain't about to put that
Okay, but so, but
And I've been
okay.
in a situation where the guys bought it for me, but it could, like you said, it can go left because you can accept it and the guy can keep trying. You can accept it and the guy can see that you're still with somebody and just touche, you got her, she can have a drink. Or they could do it and the guy be like, bet, I'm broke, I ain't trying to buy
Right.
it. So it can go a lot of ways.
Jenna,
I think it's disrespectful to accept a drink from someone else while you're there with your significant other. Like, yeah, that could cause problems. I don't know. I feel like if you accept it once there, you'll definitely do it again somewhere else. So as I wouldn't want my man thinking that I'm just accepting drinks from just anybody whenever I go out to the bar or just, being there with him. I want him to give me my drinks. I will definitely tell a dude I'm okay.
Fred.
If it ain't paid to you.
Fred, what do you say? Come on,
So
Fred.
let's put it like this, man. If I'm anywhere with my lady, ain't no nigga gonna get it twisted that she by herself.
Okay.
First and foremost. But like, say if we at a brunch or we at a lounge, whatever, and I'm there with my fellas, you there with your girls, and y'all just in a whole bunch, and a guy approaches the group and singles her out, I'm not going to be that guy to cause a commotion. I'm gonna let that play out because one, I gotta show my lady I trust her.
Okay.
Two, I can't be the Bama.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like I have to play it cool at that moment. But if he walk up to me and I'm arm in arm with her and we rapping and he just bust saying, "Hey lady, let me buy you a drink,"
That's
I
different.
might have to knock this nigga teeth out.
No, that's different. I'm just saying, like, you could be in the bar, so I'm just saying you be in the bar with him and he buy you a drink. So you okay? So I got what you said about it, Kenny. What's your thoughts? Because I got a rebuttal.
I'm with you on that rebuttal.
So like I got a rebuttal about it because like for me,
I'm curious.
I feel the way Fred feels. Like,
Okay.
I ain't gonna be that Bama to cause a commotion in front of everybody over a drink, and I do want to show her I trust her. And the third one is I'm married, so I put the ring on. So really, what am I threatening about?
Facts.
okay. So for me, first and foremost,
That's a real cocky statement, though.
We working on it.
He's like, I'm some real. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's real.
We working on
running it back in real quick. For me, I don't care.
I know you don't care.
I don't care. Like, listen.
You gonna be
Listen,
if you want to.
that's money coming out of my pocket for the drink. She know what she going home to. The thing about it is people get it twisted.
What she leave with him?
No, people get it twisted. That's the problem. People get it twisted. Just because I buy a young lady a drink doesn't mean she has to talk to me. That was me stepping up and saying, hey, Jenna, Crystal, Kiwi, hey, would you like a drink? Can I buy you a drink? Now, just because I bought you a drink don't mean that you obligated to have a conversation with me. You can say thank you and you can walk off.
I wish every minute did.
Right, I'm a bartender, and
In a
anytime
perfect world,
I'm passing drinks.
Right, but what I'm saying is,
As a woman, it's a lot of men who just give you the drink just to tell you they see you. It's a lot of men who will give you a drink and won't even talk to you
But what I'm
as
saying,
they're walking out.
right? But hold on, like I'm saying, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with that. I don't. I think it's okay because for me, I feel like this: it's less money coming out of my pocket. He wanted to buy you a drink. That's on him. He never asked you the question. Hey, are you here with somebody? Hey, do you have somebody first before? But he seen you, thought you was cute, and just bought you a drink. He should have asked you the necessary questions to find out what it was beforehand. So now you got to drink out of the situation. Hey, I don't have no problem with that. But my question to you ladies are: is it okay for me to buy a drink for an hour? What?
why not there? Boom. Good
Why would that even be acceptable?
Hold
Why would that even be acceptable?
Let me reel it back in. Let me reel it back
Why is that not acceptable?
in.
You can accept a drink, but he can't buy one.
Let me reel it back in before everybody starts talking over each other. We're trying to limit that part of it. But, and I'm gonna give everybody a chance to answer. But if I'm sitting there having a conversation with a young lady, and you know we sitting at the bar, and we just waiting on the bartender to come up, and I'm like, we talking, I'm like, hey, how you doing today, whatever, and she say nothing, blah blah. I'm like, well, the bartender come to me, and he say, I got a drink. I said, well, can you get this young lady one, because the vibe is cool. And I give her a drink, I walk off.
That's different.
You know, but I'm saying,
You
well,
paying for her drink?
yeah, so okay, so hold up, Kiwi.
You want
Why?
that?
That's different.
Hold up, Crystal, hold up. Why, Kiwi?
No.
Why?
Well, okay, so let me clarify what I said earlier.
Now you want to clarify.
No, I want to clarify.
Okay.
The only time I will accept a drink from a dude if I'm with my man is if I know that guy specifically, like, we have a fun, joking relationship. He's like, yeah, girl, go ahead. Like, that's less money out my pocket. But if I know that the guy that I'm with doesn't play that and, like, he don't
No, I'm not even talking about the kind of play that. I'm just asking, I can never buy a girl a drink no matter what.
Your sister, your cousin, your best
Oh,
friend?
wow.
Yeah, but not a stranger. Not a stranger.
Hold on.
Hold on.
When you're saying while we're there, right?
While I'm standing there, while I'm standing there,
Right.
while
Is that what that
like, you and
is?
I are going out
Now
tonight,
that's the
and we go to the bar.
It could be real innocent. It could be.
Why?
It could be a good conversation.
The situation that he gave
Y'all
us,
don't need to
wait,
have
the
a
scenario
conversation.
that James gave is simple, is different. If you're sitting there and all three of y'all having a conversation, say, yeah, give all three of us a shot of it. That's different. Now, if a guy notices me from the bar, I'm getting noticed. So if we're not talking and he notices me, which he would, if he notices me, I'm being noticed. I'm not insinuating anything with him. Even he sends it and I say, cool, thanks, that's it. And I turn right back my attention on you. Now, if you're supposed to be eye to eye with me and you notice somebody enough to send her a drink,
No, it's not
damn
noticing.
sure one. You noticed her. You don't just be like, hey, I
You
know
at
there's
the
a girl
bar.
coming right. It must look good. Just send her a drink.
You at
No,
a bar
you seen her and
and
you noticed her.
You go to a bar.
No, but listen.
You-
What Kenny is saying is like this: you go to a bar, you having a good time, you enjoying yourself, and
Good
like,
conversation,
or it could be
man.
one of those situations where she was trying to get the bartender, whatever have you, and then she couldn't. I got a bartender, I said, can you get her a drink too? And I'm like this. He's like, oh, thank you, I appreciate it. I'm like, don't worry about that drink on me.
Different
And I walk off. I'm
Okay,
just
I can get with
asking.
that.
That's different.
Yeah,
But
but the
that's
moment you
different.
gave us
I can
for the
live
guy
with
that
that's
sends a
different.
drink, if we standing here like,
No,
yeah, baby,
no,
this was
no.
good, and then you just say,
I can
yeah,
live with
get her
that.
this, and then the young lady over this, how
Okay.
the hell you see her? You supposed to be
hold
looking
on.
at me.
So let's say you sitting at the bar like you are, or you go to the bar because we all have a table in the club, and he buys you a drink. I'm still there. Are you accepting that drink?
Like I said earlier, it
Are
depends
you
on the
accepting
guy.
a drink?
It depends on the guy.
So if I go to the table, if I go to the bar, and you sitting at the table back there, and a young lady sitting beside me, I'm like, okay, hey, drink with me. We just having a good time.
No.
And like, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Hold up,
Double
friend.
standards exist.
Let me, Jenna.
Just say it depends on the girl.
So are we talking about the guy buying the girl a drink
Yeah.
again? While you're in a relationship, right?
Yeah, we went to club together.
No.
But you don't believe
If
that.
it was a group, us three, me, Crystal, Kiwi at the bar, okay, cool. You get all three of us drinks.
I'm never doing that. I'm
Who you talking to?
only giving a girl a drink that I like.
Okay, but no.
But you also believe that you wouldn't take a drink if you was in a relationship.
You're right.
Okay, Fred, I seen you raise your hand.
Okay, so this is just me personally. I can't speak for nobody else. Like, I've literally been at a setting like this at a bar where it's just us, and like I have this sixth sense to tell when somebody's not in their right mind, not in a good mood. And I've literally seen somebody sitting across from me. I'm having my own conversation.
They by themselves.
They out of it. They just look like they need some pick me up. And I've been with somebody, and I'm like, hey, I'm about to throw her a drink on the tab. Cool. All right, but like anything like that has to be, for one, I think it needs to be accepted by your partner. I'm not just gonna do this shit. Like if I'm with you, I'm not just gonna like get her a drink on me.
Because she getting my drink.
Even if
Hold on.
if I'm any one of you partners at this table, and I never had a history of besides you, I'm sorry.
I'm talking about besides this.
Oh,
Yeah. What? Go ahead,
What's
go
that?
But
ahead.
y'all know I'm a straight man.
Oh my God! Go ahead.
Straight.
So I ain't even gotta clarify that.
Okay.
But what I'm saying, you don't mean to slow me my train of thought. So if I buy one of y'all a drink, but I had no history of cheating,
You just
how you gonna look at that?
just give it a confirmation. Like I said, just have respect for the person you're there with, and just then do what you
I never.
do.
But
So what you saying is,
I never gave you.
so
That is
hold
not
up.
a
So
conversation.
Kiwi,
That
what
is
you
not a
are
conversation.
insinuating is that if I buy a young lady a bottle of drink while you sitting at the table over there, I'm cheating, or I'm
not saying you're
opening
cheating.
I'm opening up the Pandora's box.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
absolutely.
I feel like if you see her and you see her and you see her, somebody else see her. So let that dude buy her a drink.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
If
You marry me.
If we at a lounge and we sitting at the table, he said, I'm about to go get us a drink. He's standing there, the girl standing right here, and he says, yo, me and my lady back there need two, but throw hers on mine too.
Whoa.
Walk away.
When I try to get y'all to say,
Listen, no, you talking to me.
I never do
I heard it wrong.
No,
But what I'm saying in a
here's
situation, now if we're standing here, right? And that's the drink, and then you just say, you know, like he said, she's trying. I said it depends on the scenario. It's like she's like,
Okay.
excuse me, but James knows the bartender. Let's say he knows her, and she comes over
that's
in that
different.
situation. Now if we're standing here, and you don't know the girl, y'all ain't talk, y'all ain't said nothing, and she's way across the bar with a TV. The other people blocking her, but for some reason you're supposed to be eye to eye with me, but you know this girl all the way over enough to say, hey.
From
say
your
her
interpretation, keep that interpretation in mind. We at a table. And for some reason, I come to the bar and get us a drink because it's taking the person too long to bring the bottles to the table. So I'm going to get us a drink. We just get there. We walk through a whole bunch of traffic. We just need some drinks.
Gotcha.
So I happen to get to the bar and I'm having a good conversation. An innocent conversation.
conversation. So that's like, you know what?
I'm saying it happened. It can
No,
happen.
that's fine. The good conversation. I'm saying there's no reason
There's
at all.
it's innocent.
No, I'm saying the conversation is fine because you had to tell, you know what, this was cool, nice meeting you. Drinks on me. Have a good night. Fine.
You
But
cool
I'm
with
saying
that?
if you
That's
y'all
all I'm
haven't
saying.
talked, you didn't see her,
I'm
she's
thinking like-
blocked you. There's no, how the hell you see this girl? I'm saying no reason whatsoever
Okay.
for you to buy this girl.
I'm thinking like
And if that's
it's
the
a
case,
law that I
take
can't
your
buy
fat ass
So
over
okay, so listen. I
You
just
shouldn't
want to
have
ask
seen
you.
it.
So you saying that I can't buy a drink?
Peripherals.
Okay. So you saying I can't buy a drink?
And we're all at the bar talking.
No, I'm not saying you at the table.
Period.
I pull up to the bar. Shorty standing there. We rapping because we waiting on the bartender. Like you know what I mean. You ain't feeling it.
Nah.
She got
Okay,
a
cool.
Christian man.
But
He
you
can't
can,
buy
but you
a
can
drink.
accept it. But you can accept it. So
Double
double standard. So
Yeah,
you
double standards exist.
okay? Double standards do
Okay.
exist. Okay, double standards do
But you
exist.
can live with it then. Like we can
Live
get
with
over.
what?
We can get over it.
No.
Yes, I could get over it.
Okay.
Okay, but you believe in
I
double
can
But
get
now
standards.
I got
over it
attitude.
a few days.
So
I'm not
hold up, guys.
All right.
Because we definitely got to wrap up this segment as well. But so what you saying is you can accept it. Like the question was accepting a drink at a bar from a male while you're significant other day. Can you accept the drink? Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Are you okay with that?
Depends on the scenario.
Are you okay with that? Jenna,
Too
I'm
many?
good.
Fred, no, she can't get a drink. I don't care. Like I said, listen, more money in my pocket is you going home with me. So at the end of the day, I'm cool. Listen, I'm cool with her buying a drink. But I also believe. So the last question: can the man buy a drink for a woman?
I already said no to that.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Kiwi. Hold on, Kiwi.
No.
Kiwi.
If she not with
Hell
us.
Hell no,
she-
Crystal.
Depends on the circumstance.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Alright, so me,
I'm
I should
telling
be able to buy a young lady. Hold up, y'all. I should be able to buy a young lady a drink if she can accept the drink. That's just how my stance on it.
You mean if your girl can accept it?
Yeah, like if my woman can accept the drink, I should be able to buy a young lady a drink. It's the same thing.
But that is a conversation that you both should have.
Right.
You
It's
got
the same
to
thing.
respect. You
Yeah.
respect your partner.
Okay, it's the same thing to me. But at the end of the day, that's what I feel. Like I
Bad.
feelings?
Bad.
We have feelings
Bad.
too.
said. Yeah, so that's the thing. So
You got feelings?
Yes.
thank you guys.
You would never know.
Thank you guys. This episode right here. This is 3 or 4, Kenny?
This is the
Episode
third
3.
one.
Episode 3. Thank you guys for being on episode 3.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jenna. Thank you, Fred, Kiwi, Crystal, man. It's a wrap, man. But before we wrap up, though, thank you guys. Give yourself a round of applause.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for being on part of Bartenders and Entrees. We helping it. First season, episode 3. But before we go, the last segment. I mean, we did the last call, but I want to ask this question to everybody before we leave the show. Starting with you, Jenna. I'm gonna start to my left. So, Jenna, if you had 3 people, or 2 or 3 people that you would like to have a bar drink, who would they be and why?
Janaea Aiko, Morgan Freeman, and Sean Connery.
Okay, so wow, that's all across the board. So why?
I love Morgan
Specific list.
Freeman. I like listening to him, and he's
Okay.
smart as shit.
Okay.
Sean Connery, I've got a huge old man crush on him.
Okay.
And Janaea Aiko, we could smoke together, we can chill together. I love her music. They're my crew.
Okay, cool. Got you. Fred.
So if you was with me at the bar, you would have said drinks with them?
I mean, if Sean Connery offered me a drink, I'd definitely
Gotcha.
take it.
Even if I was right there with you?
I'd let
You
him
just
pour
gonna
it in my
disrespect me
mouth.
right in front of
This is not about
Light skin.
light skin. Don't be like that. This is not about. Hold up.
I know, right?
Fred, you gotta bring it.
I'm good.
You okay?
Bring
You
your
good?
chest back.
You need to touch the boobs.
Breathe.
You need
That
to-
last
cool.
topic got me in.
All right, cool. So, Fred, who would be 2 or 3 people that you would like to talk to, have a bar drink with?
Drake and I'll be sure.
No, but go ahead.
I'll be sure.
Go ahead.
We gonna see.
Let him ruin this moment.
Don't let him move the moment. What would you do?
First drink I would have was my little brother, Philip Michael Thomas. He passed away at 12 years old, so I never got to have a drink with him.
Oh man,
That's always my first
Hey,
one.
man. So we're gonna have a drink to him right now, y'all. It's impromptu. We're
Well,
gonna have a
I'm
drink,
gonna take
man.
half a drink with him.
Okay, that's fine.
And then the other one would definitely be the late great Kobe Bryant, man. That was my idol growing up.
Okay.
So like, I
Rest in peace to Cole,
Rest in peace, Kobe, Gigi for sure.
Gigi, and all the other people that, like, let me say this too. Rest in peace to all the other people that was in that crash. I don't want them to be overshadowed because of the celebrity of Kobe and Gigi, but rest in peace to them, man. So.
Okay.
Kobe Bean Bryant.
Okay,
That's
so
my-
wow. So, Crystal.
His name two. Oh, he named two.
That's my two.
Me would be Charles Douglas, my grandfather. I never got to really meet him or know him. He died when I was a baby. And Nipsey Hussle.
Okay, why? So why would you choose Nipsey?
Well, I already followed Nipsey before everybody knew Nipsey because I really liked the whole rap. I heard about him through other things, and I knew about Nipsey when he was selling mixtapes for $100. Like I knew about him when he was really talking, and he was very full of like wisdom, and it just sounded like he had a lot of things in his mind working that he never told nobody because he was moving in silence. And I just would really like to know what other plans was you building up there that you was about to break to the world that we didn't get to see.
Okay, cool. Okay, Kiwi.
The first person I would like to have a drink with would be my mother. She passed in '97 when I was 17. And I would just like to just thank her for all the things that she did to raise my brother and my stepbrothers as well. I realize now as an adult the things that she had to like go through just to raise us on the salary that she made. So, and I lived a mostly happy life with it. I want to also just like let her know that like the things that she went through, in the way that she acted, I understand that now, and I didn't understand it as a child. And also like before she passed away, I was mad with her. Wow. And she said bye to me when she went to the hospital, and I was mad. I didn't say bye. I was like, whatever, get out, or whatever. And that was the last time she said something to me, so I always regret that. So I would like to talk to her, and then the second person I would like to talk to would be Malcolm X. And I would just want to find out from him if he could change the way that he moved once he got out of prison, because he went hard for the nation. And from the way it looked like, the nation turned their back to him. And did you feel like...
watch the documentary?
Did you watch the documentary?
So, hold up. Yeah, so...
We got a whole...
I know we got a podcast on that, but like I said, I understand where you're coming from because I did get a chance to watch the documentary.
You saw the whole thing?
Yes. And it was serious and how they did everything.
Oh, man.
But...
The way they just, like...
Honored the shooter.
Yes.
Like,
and the way they were like, they were like, yeah, that's, everybody knows. Like,
Right.
Everybody was behind it, right in his face.
So, they say that, when he passed, he had, like, no money. He didn't even pay for insurance.
That's
So
great.
I was just want to know, like,
if
he would wanted to do something different and how he would do that.
Okay, go ahead.
Mine would be my grandmother. Last 3 years, I took care of her, taking her back and forth to day center for adult care, and I just want to have a real conversation with her, not a conversation with her having dementia. I just, that's one of the things I miss. That was a lady that didn't know how to stop talking, but her last days, it was just miserable. But my grandmother, and then my other person, I'll do somebody famous like Tupac.
Okay, why Tupac?
Because I think like he was deep about Tupac, not even about the musical impact, but like he said a quote that said he'll spark the brain with someone that will change the world. And I think some of those people are Nipsey Hussle, what he was doing in his last days, what Jay-Z is doing now for our culture with Rock Nation, and like getting 21 Savage off of, getting ice off of him, just doing good deeds for the NFL, trying to, I just think he
pioneered that.
He pioneered that and put that idea out there, and I think people took that idea and reacted on it.
Okay, cool. So for me, I probably got 3 people. Number 1 would be my grandma. And for me, the reason why is my grandma, that's the only thing I regret in life. I never got to say goodbye to my grandma. So what happened was, she went to the hospital. I'm not a big fan of hospitals. I don't like hospitals. I've seen the hospital before. So the last time she went to the hospital, I told my mom I'm not going to see her like that because that's not how I want to remember my grandma, because that was my rock. Besides my mom and my little sister, like those are some of the women that I respect. But my grandma, with her, it was more so like, that's my grandma, like, you know what I mean? So for me, when I didn't go to the hospital, I made my mind up. I said, you know what? Stop being selfish. Go see her. And the night that I made that decision, that she died. And so the last time I got to see my grandma, she was dead, and I kissed her forehead, and it was cold. Toughest thing I've ever done in my life. And so I would definitely like to have that conversation with my grandma. I would definitely have a drink with my grandma because I never did. The other person I would like to have a drink with is Nas. For me, Nas is one of my favorite artists. My favorite artist. Like one of my favorite artists. So for me, that'd be somebody that you drinking Crown Vanilla. Yeah. So that's one of my that's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite artists and everything like that. And I just want to pick his brain to see why he writes the way he writes. Because for me, he paints pictures.
Yes.
He's one of the best rappers to paint a picture.
Yeah.
Like you can see it. Like you can visualize it when he raps. So for me, that's one of my favorite artists.
Jay-Z.
Pac, Nas, Scarface.
Yeah, no.
So y'all just gonna leave Jay-Z
No,
out?
Jay, hold on.
I'm gonna say
We gonna say that. We gonna say that.
No, I like Jay-Z. We'll say that for another show, but I definitely a big fan of Jay-Z. And the last person I would want to talk to, because I grew up in a single family home, and I grew up with my mother, I would want to talk to a strong black woman like a Coretta Scott King, or what's Betty Shabazz? That was Betty Shabazz. I would want to talk to maybe Rosa Parks or anybody else that's a strong black woman to see, especially like Coretta Scott King, to be the wife of somebody that's a leader of that magnitude, but still played a major role.
How about Betty Shabazz, the shrimp? She saw her husband get slammed.
Yeah, but I mean, you figure
strong.
But I'm just right. But what I'm saying is just even in the sense of, for me, even in the sense when it comes to like the women, because like I said, I grew up in that. My mother was me and my sister's backbone. Straight like that. So,
can I add a third person?
So yeah, give me 1 second. But like,
I just don't.
yeah, but like I said, the reason why I say them is because like you had to be strong to be their wife. Like you had to be very strong. Like you had to be super strong. Like think about it, like death threats, bombings, rocks thrown at you.
Real
racism. Like you have to be, and you standing side by side with this man. And then
Not going nowhere.
then they're touring the country, and you have to take care of the home and everything like that.
And you don't have cell phones.
Nothing
No
like,
social media.
and
You gotta
you
wait
know,
till you call the
you
house.
never,
Made like a lot
yeah, and you
more
never know
Look at how
when it
Vanessa
happens.
Bryant found
So,
out.
but like I said, but that was my 3. So Crystal,
Right.
what's yours?
My third person that I think about is my mom, because James was the more easier child. I gave my mother a hard time, which is why I think I was the child that had a child. And then I had a child at the same age in the same month. My mother had my brother in November at 24. I had my son in November at 24. His father was not there. Arian's father was not there. For me to have to go through the exact same thing that my mother had to go through, I look at my mother now and I owe her the biggest apology. And I want to tell her, I really would like to tell her I'm sorry and I appreciate it, because this shit is hard. So I really want to sit down.
Like I said, man, definitely wanted to do that. Wanted to do that. And so thank you guys again for being on the show. This is the 3rd episode of Bar Drinks and Entrees. We about to head out. It's a wrap.
Episode 3.
Episode 3.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Love y'all, man. Thank y'all.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.